Hey everybody, amprepairguy.com, 203-892-4119, also hardbackelectronics.com. So, sorry, I started diagnosing this. It's been crazy doing other stuff this morning. Hardback kits, had to get 3 amps ready for shipment, so I brought those to FedEx, went to the post office, got this on the bench. So, customer said, works 160/80/40. So I suspected maybe a relay, but then I noticed the switch that controls the relays is spinning. It's ganged with the band switch. That's spinning, so to fix that, figure out what's going on. One of the plate blockers is damaged. You can see it's cracked. This is a poor choice for a plate blocker, so I'm going to put two 1500 puff doorknobs in parallel, calculated around 5 amps of current at max output, so I'm going to have twice that capacity, and they're rated for more than this, so I won't have that problem again, hopefully. So someone ran this hard. See how the common conductor going back to the load cap is pretty crispy. A couple of the plates, at least 2 of the plates, are to see have some arc damage. They're not folded over. Might be able to clean them up. Gave the customer the option of replacing it, so he wants to get it working, and then we'll go from there. He's going to decide if he wants it changed. I think I can get that from Orion Elliott. I think they made that capacitor. Plate side would have to come out. Plate side's fine. To get at that one, so this is a strange setup. The output network's going into a 200 ohm load, and then that 200's transformed to 50 with the transformers on there. Okay, so this tube, you can tell, has been running hotter because it's the furthest away from the blower. The blower's here, travels that way. Okay, so that's about it. I will see you guys soon. Stay tuned. Okay, so I was waiting on parts. They finally arrived. I'll go over everything else when it's all done. I have a couple other things I have to do also. So someone messed with this. You have padding capacitors that are switched in line on the load side, and then other ones that are switched in line on the plate side. So when you get down to 80, it should have had these two 170s switched in line, but right now it's switched over to the 160 tap. Okay, so those get switched in line on 80, and then it should have 2 other caps that are switched in online when you get to 160. So when you're on 160, all 4 are in parallel to add more total capacitance to the load air variable capacitor. Okay, schematic's horrible for this, doesn't give you the value of any of these. I believe they're 2 500s, so I bought 2 500s. If I'm wrong, I'll adjust the value, but so I'm going to fix that and check it, and then move on to the next thing. Documentation is just horrible. Some stuff is listed, a lot of stuff is not. So I've had lots of other stuff to do in the meantime. In Hardbach, I just filled a whole bunch of Hardbach orders too. So I'm going to get back to work, and I'll see you guys soon. So the caps have been installed. Wires are connected properly. Everything's soldered nice. I use Teflon wire just like the other ones. Silver plated stranded center conductor. Slid a piece of Teflon tube over it. Not really needed, but I didn't have the larger stuff, so I had some smaller stuff. I slid it over just to make it look similar. I'm going to put the side panel back on and check it out. See if it tunes up properly on 160 now. Okay, back to work. Back with the completed 3-tube Qro HF2500DX Mark III. Got it on 3.8 megs, roughly 30 watts or so. 5 kW slug. It's on PEP. Key amp. Audio hello. Audio hello, hello, hello. 3500 on the button. Audio hello, 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 hello. Audio hello. Audio hello. Hello, hello, hello. Audio hello, hello, hello. Audio hello, hello, hello. Works as it should. Okay, so I'm going to let it cool off, take the cover off, and show you everything I did. See you guys soon. So here's the inside of the amplifier. Show you everything I did real quick. I cleaned the plates on the load C2 air variable capacitor, so that's good. I fixed the common connection on the band switch. I replaced the wire from the common connection down to the load air variable capacitor. Pressed the coil, someone had messed with that. Added the proper padding capacitors for 160, which pad the load air variable capacitor. I moved the capacitors they had hooked up to the 160 position back to 80, so now I have the proper caps on 80 and the proper ones on 160. This is a progressively shorting switch, so once you get to 80 it adds 2 in, and then when you get to 160 now you have the 2 on 80 and the 2 on 160. I replaced the failed ceramic disc capacitors, which were the wrong value. I put in Hynergy Corp 1500 PF 7.5 kV caps, 2 of them. I made the strap assemblies. I fixed the anode connection. They were like really loose, so I pulled it off, put a little bit of solder inside the brass, and then re-secured it. I don't like that clamp setup. It's not a good idea. They always end up stretching over time. So I had to mess with the input circuit. It was like crazy high and 10, so I got that down. Also adjusted the 15 meter input. So that's about it. So if you need an amplifier repaired, feel free to give me a call. Phone number is 203-892-4119. It's 203-892-4119. Websites are amprepairguy.com and also harbackelectronics.com. Oh, one other thing. When I first got it, I think I said before, this was the rotary switch here that controls the relays in the back. See, there are 3 circuits back here, one for 10, another for 15, one for 20, that they cancel out the compactive reactance inside the tube. You know, the higher frequencies it gets worse. And then there's a relay that engages for 160, 80, 40, but they don't have an inductor or a capacitor for that. So anyway, this whole assembly was spinning, so it was stuck on the 160, 80, 40 selection, so it wasn't working on the higher bands because of that. He had an infinite SVR. So, okay, so that's about it. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. 73.